Welcome to Guard Compass AI podcast. We're here to guide you through the ever-evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. AI is, well, it's everywhere now, isn't it? Reshaping how we work, how we live, how we interact. It's moving so fast. And that speed brings up a huge question. How do we make sure this powerful technology benefits everyone and aligns with our values? Today, we're diving deep into an incredibly important topic, a major effort to set global standards for AI development and deployment. It's about harnessing AI's immense potential while safeguarding, fundamental rights and building trust. Essential stuff for understanding the future.
Absolutely. The potential is just boundless. We see that every day. But with that power comes significant responsibility. What we're seeing emerge now is a really comprehensive framework. It's designed to ensure AI systems are human-centric, reliable, beneficial. Instead of becoming a source of, well, unforeseen risks or harm, it's fundamentally about building a solid foundation for trustworthy AI.
Okay, trustworthy AI. Let's unpack this. What's the core mission behind such a significant undertaking? What's it really trying to achieve? So, at its heart, what are the main goals? For people, for society?
Fundamentally, it's about striking a balance. It's quite delicate, actually. On one hand, yes, it aims to improve how our shared economy functions, fostering innovation, ensuring AI goods and services can move freely. That's key. But on the other hand, and this is equally vital, it's designed to protect us.
Protect us how?
Protect natural persons, businesses, democracy, the rule of law, and even environmental protection from the potential negative impacts of AI. It strongly champions a truly human-centric approach, making sure AI serves people, not the other way around.
That makes sense. So it's not just reactive, like stopping bad things, but proactively shaping AI to fit our values?
Exactly. It's applied in accordance with the fundamental values we cherish. Protecting individuals, fostering democracy, upholding the rule of law, ensuring environmental protection. The aim is to ensure a consistent and high level of protection everywhere, avoiding fragmented approaches that could, stifle innovation in one place or leave big safety gaps in another.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. What kind of harm are we actually talking about here? Beyond the obvious physical risks, what else is considered?
That's a really important point. AI can generate a whole range of risks and cause harm to public interests and fundamental rights. And this harm isn't just physical. It can be immaterial. Think psychological harm, societal disruption, economic damage. It's broad. Given this breadth, a tiered, risk-based approach is crucial. We need common rules, especially for what are classified as high-risk AI systems.
High risk. That sounds serious. Can you give us some concrete examples? What pushes an AI system into that category, and why is that label so significant?
Certainly. High-risk areas often involve situations where AI has a significant impact on people's lives or safety. Think about AI systems used in biometrics, things like remote identification systems or systems categorizing people based on sensitive attributes like ethnicity or political beliefs. The potential for error or bias there is huge. Or consider AI used as safety components in critical infrastructure, managing road traffic, water supplies, power grids. A failure there could be catastrophic.
Right, critical functions.
Then there's education and vocational training. AI deciding access to schools, evaluating exams, even monitoring students during tests. Bias here could unfairly shape someone's future opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And in employment, AI used for recruitment, deciding who gets interviewed, task allocation, performance monitoring. These are definitely high risk because they directly impact people's livelihoods and careers.
So basically, AI influencing major life decisions or essential services. That seems to be the pattern.
Precisely. It also includes access to essential public and private services, like AI evaluating eligibility for Social Security benefits, healthcare access, or even determining creditworthiness for loans. In law enforcement, it covers AI for predicting crime hotspots, assessing flight risk for bail decisions, polygraphs, or evaluating the reliability of evidence. The stakes are incredibly high.
Definitely.
For migration, asylum, and border control, AI used for risk assessment or identifying individuals is high risk due to the vulnerability of the people involved. And finally, in the administration of justice and democratic processes, systems that might assist judges in sentencing or AI used to influence election outcomes, those are clearly high-risk zones impacting fundamental rights and democracy itself.
What's fascinating here is how this framework doesn't just categorize risk, but also draws clear lines in the sand, outlining specific AI practices that are completely prohibited because the risk is just unacceptable. What are those red lines?
Yes, the framework sets very clear red lines. These are AI practices considered fundamentally incompatible with our values or too dangerous. For instance, using subliminal techniques in AI systems that can significantly distort a person's behavior in a harmful way. That's completely forbidden.
Like mind control embedded in a chatbot or something? Is that the idea?
Or perhaps more subtly, but just as concerning, systems that exploit the vulnerabilities of specific groups, like targeting people based on their age, a disability, or their specific social or economic situation, making them susceptible to harmful manipulation. This is seen as particularly abusive.
That raises a really important question, especially with things we hear globally. What about social scoring? Is that addressed?
Indeed, the social scoring of natural persons or groups over time based on their social behavior or inferred traits, which then leads to detrimental treatment in completely unrelated areas of life that's prohibited. Also, the untargeted scraping of facial images from the internet or CCTV footage to build massive facial recognition databases. That's out. Too much risk for privacy, too much pit for misuse.
Right. And I remember some controversy around emotion recognition tech, particularly in workplaces.
Yes, that's another one. Using emotion recognition technology in the workplace or in educational institutions is prohibited. There are very narrow exceptions, like for specific medical or safety reasons, but generally it's banned due to the power imbalance and intrusiveness. And a really strict one: real-time remote biometric identification in public spaces for law enforcement purposes. This is generally forbidden.
Generally. So there are exceptions.
Extremely narrow ones, only for targeted searches for specific victims like a missing child, preventing specific, substantial, and imminent threats to life like a terrorist attack, or identifying suspects in serious crimes already committed. And even then, it always requires prior judicial authorization and has strict limits on time, location, and the people targeted. It really emphasizes human dignity and prevents mass surveillance.
Okay, so with all these risks identified and some practices banned outright, how do we ensure the high-risk AI systems that are allowed are actually trustworthy? What are the practical requirements developers need to meet?
This is where the framework gets down to the nuts and bolts for providers of these high-risk systems. There's a comprehensive set of obligations. Firstly, a robust risk management system. This isn't a one-off tick box exercise. It has to be a continuous, iterative process throughout the AI's entire life cycle. Identifying risks, analyzing them, putting mitigations in place, reviewing them, even considering foreseeable misuse. Secondly, data governance and management are absolutely critical.
Meaning the data used to train the AI.
Exactly. The data for training, validation, testing has to be high quality. It needs to be relevant, representative, and as free of errors and biases as possible. This is crucial for preventing discrimination, especially against vulnerable groups.
So not just any data, but good, well-managed data, rigorously checked.
Precisely. Then there's technical documentation and record keeping. High-risk systems need to be designed so they can automatically log events, what they did, when, why, throughout their lifetime. And comprehensive technical documentation must be kept, often for years, to ensure traceability and allow for auditing. Transparency and providing clear information for deployers, the people actually using the AI, is also vital. Systems must come with clear, complete instructions. What can it do? What are its limits? What are the foreseeable risks? The user needs to understand the tool.
What about the human element? Can these systems just run autonomously in high-risk situations?
Absolutely not. Human oversight is a core principle. It's non-negotiable for high-risk AI. These systems must be designed so that humans can effectively oversee them. This means people need the right training, the authority, and the ability to intervene, to stop the system, or to override its decisions if necessary.
So humans always remain in the loop.
In control, ideally. For instance, with certain high-risk biometric systems, the framework states that a final decision significantly impacting someone shouldn't be based solely on the AI's output.
Yeah.
It requires separate verification by at least 2 qualified human individuals. That's a strong safeguard. And finally, accuracy, robustness, and cybersecurity. Systems need to perform reliably and accurately, be resilient to errors or inconsistencies, and be protected against cyber threats throughout their life cycle.
Okay, that's quite a list of requirements. But the AI landscape is changing incredibly fast. We're seeing these huge general-purpose AI models, GPMs, emerge. How does a framework like this keep up with something so dynamic?
That's a great question, and it's perhaps one of the most forward-looking parts of this regulation. It specifically introduces obligations for providers of general-purpose AI models, or GPMs. These are the big foundational models, like large language models that can be used for many different tasks and integrated into countless downstream AI systems. The framework recognizes that some of these GPMs can pose systemic risks.
Systemic risks.
Yeah, especially those models with really high-impact capabilities. Think models trained on massive data sets with billions or trillions of parameters. Their scale means they could have widespread effects.
Okay, systemic risks. What kind of risks are we talking about there specifically with these foundational models? Is it different from the risks of narrower AI?
It can be magnified, certainly. We're talking about potential widespread negative effects on public health, safety, fundamental rights, democratic processes, economic security. Imagine a flaw or bias in a widely used foundation model propagating across thousands of applications, or the potential for disseminating illegal content, generating deepfakes at scale, creating false or discriminatory information. There are also concerns about intentional misuse, or even enabling dangerous capabilities related to, say, cyber warfare or bioweapons development.
Wow, okay, so how does the framework tackle that?
It mandates that providers of GPAMs identified as posing these systemic risks have specific obligations. They must assess and mitigate these risks, conduct model evaluations, ensure robust cybersecurity, keep detailed technical documentation. And crucially, they need to be transparent, especially about the data used for training and how they comply with copyright law. There's even a new AI office being established specifically to monitor these powerful models and enforce the rules.
That makes sense, targeting the root models. So, with all these rules, the risk categories, the prohibitions, what does this all mean for someone actually wanting to innovate and develop AI, especially for smaller companies or startups? Does this kill innovation?
That's a valid concern. But the framework actually tries to foster innovation alongside safety. It promotes initiatives like AI regulatory sandboxes.
Sandboxes, like a safe testing ground.
Exactly. Controlled environments where developers, especially SMEs and startups, can test innovative AI systems with guidance from regulators. It helps them understand how to comply while they innovate. It also encourages real-world testing, but under very strict conditions and oversight, to gather practical evidence before a full launch. And importantly, there are measures to boost AI literacy across society, making sure developers, deployers, and the public understand AI better. Informed users are key to responsible adoption.
That's incredibly comprehensive then. It really sounds like a serious, thoughtful effort to guide AI development towards being not just powerful, but also responsible, fair, and trustworthy. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one key takeaway you hope our listeners will really mull over?
I'd say it's this. Regulating AI isn't about stopping progress. It's about channeling it responsibly, making sure it benefits humanity. This framework establishes, quite firmly, that the most powerful AI systems, the ones that touch our lives most deeply, must always remain subject to human values and human control. That's the bottom line. The real challenge now for everyone is to understand these principles, actually apply them, to actively ensure this AI revolution serves us, not the other way around. So maybe the question for you, the listener, is, what responsibility do you feel in shaping AI's future in your own work, your own life?
A powerful thought to leave us with. Thank you for guiding us through that complex landscape, and thank you for joining us on Guard Compass AI podcast. We hope this discussion has given you valuable insights into the crucial efforts underway to build a trustworthy future for artificial intelligence.